For the Tangi Parish School Board meeting for August 4th, 2026 at 6 o'clock p.m. And we'll start with a call to order. And item A is a roll call. Samantha, can we go ahead and get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Anthony?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Ms. Abrams?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez?
Present.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
He's also here, be walking in a second.
Mr. Piazza?
Here.
Ms. Richards? Mr. Toller?
Here.
All right, item B is the Pledge of Allegiance. We can go ahead and stand for that, and Mr. Moore is going to lead us since.
Can you make this good time? He's already up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, opening items. Item A is consider approval of the Tangi Parish School Board meeting minutes for July 28th, 2026.
Motion to adopt. Second.
We have a motion to adopt by Mr. Westmoreland, a second by Mr. Piazza. Do we have any opposition to this motion? All right, hearing no opposition, motion carries. Item B is consider approval of the Tangi Parish Policy Committee reports. Is that correct? Consider approval of the Tangi Parish Policy Committee report.
So move.
A motion by Mr. Piazza.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Westmoreland. And Brett, as you can see on the, I don't know if the agenda you have them all listed out.
I got that.
Good.
And we've talked about that too.
All right. Considering there was a lot of things that were approved during that committee, we will go ahead and do a roll call vote on that one, please, Mr. Aganath.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Right. Item 3 is academic update. Item A is recognize the Reach University graduates.
Mr. Anthony and Ms. Stilley, if y'all would join me down here, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to face members. Since partnering with Reach University in 2021, the Tangi Parish School System has helped support employees fulfill their dreams of becoming teachers. This unique program allows paraprofessionals and support staff the opportunity to earn their bachelor's degree while maintaining full-time employment. To date, more than 80 support employees have chosen to start strong, and tonight we proudly celebrate our newest group of Reach University graduates who have finished strong. So as I call your name and read your little bio, if you wouldn't mind, come up here and join Mr. Anthony and Ms. Stilley. Mr. Brian Beavers graduated magna cum laude in May 2026 with a BA in Global Education. He is currently teaching English 2 at Independence High Magnet School. He completed his residency at D.C. Reeves Elementary School with Mr. James Cox. Miss Lee Burnthorne graduated in December 2025 with a BA in Global Education. She is currently teaching 3rd and 4th grade at D.C. Reeves Elementary School, where she completed her residency with Miss Susie Miller. Miss Leslie DePaula graduated summa cum laude in May 2026 with a BA in Liberal Arts. She is currently teaching kindergarten through 5th grade at Hammond Eastside Magnet School. Miss Monique DeZoo graduated in December 2025 with a BA in Liberal Arts. She is currently teaching 3rd grade at Hammond Westside Montessori School. Miss Savannah Kennedy graduated in July 2026 with a BA in Liberal Arts, and she is currently teaching kindergarten at Independence Leadership Academy. Miss Sarah Moscow graduated in June 2026 with a BA in Liberal Arts. She is currently teaching at the SLU Lab School. Miss Amber Reagan graduated magna cum laude in May 2026 with a BA in liberal arts, and she is currently teaching first and second grade at Tucker Elementary. Miss Donna Teal graduated in December 2025 with a BA in liberal arts, and she is currently teaching kindergarten at Midway Elementary. Miss Megan Walsh graduated in December 2025 with a BA in global education, and she is currently teaching second grade at Hammond Westside Montessori School, where she completed her residency with Miss Victoria Goucher. Again, we are proud of all of our REACH graduates, those who are still continuing their education in REACH University. We have over 80 of our support staff currently enrolled, working toward to fill those teaching vacancies. So again, congratulations.
Don't back, family. Family's got to take pictures. Same pose. Over there. All right, now you can go.
I'll come around here and face the board now. We're going to take a short break so that you may leave at this time if you would like to. So we'll just give y'all a couple of minutes.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
Right, we're going to pick back up at item 4, board actions.
Yeah.
Item A
I wanted to let you
is
know
to
that.
consider approval to publish the notice of public hearing of the proposed 2026-2027 annual operating budget in the official journal. Mr. McNeely.
So this is your approval to publish the budget, and then we will come back to you for adoption of the budget after it's been advertised and the appropriate time for public comment.
So move to adopt the budget. I mean, to put the public
Publish.
notice, sorry.
Publish the budget.
Publish the notice of the budget.
All right. Motion by Mr. Piazza.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Westmoreland. Do we have any discussion, questions,
Mr.
comments?
McNeely, what is the date of the meeting that we will be noticing in our notice?
Does anybody have a copy of the budget? It's in the letter on the front
The
page.
September date?
September 1st is the adoption. There's an August 4th. Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
So the elected school board members of Tangipahoa Parish will be asked to approve the 2026 operating budget on September 1st at its regular school board meeting. A public hearing on the budget will be held August 18th.
So both of those dates will be in the notice, the 18th and the 1st?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? No questions, comments, concerns? We can go ahead and call for vote, please.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Miss Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yep.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So, Amanda, just for the record, Mr. Moore wasn't called on that vote,
Yeah.
and on the previous one for that matter as well.
In the attendance.
Okay. I'll give you a second.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Mr. Moore?
Yes.
It has been updated and adopted.
Got it. Thank you. All right, we got item B is a resolution to adopt annual compliance questionnaire for the upcoming 2025-2026 audit. Also, Mr. McNeely.
This is a standard Louisiana compliance questionnaire that we do each year. Please make sure that your information is correct in there. We haven't had any changes of board members, so it should be the same as last year.
All right.
Wait, my phone number's, oh, that's her phone number, never mind. That's, I guess, I don't even know who's, oh, that's y'all's fax number for everybody's, I guess? Okay.
Go all the way down?
Always fun to have your cell number posted. It's a good time.
So does this require a motion as a resolution, or?
Yes, you adopt the resolution for
Move to adopt the resolution as presented.
Second.
All right, motion by Mr. Duncan, second by Mr. Piazza. And do we have any opposition to adopting this resolution? All right, hearing no opposition, motion will carry. Item C, we are going to postpone to a little bit later in the meeting. We will come back to item C. And we will move on to item 5, superintendent's reports and recommendations. Ms. Stilley?
Yes, Mr. President. Just general updates. I wanted to remind the public that August the 10th is the first day for our students to report back to school. Also for families, the Family Toolkit that's on our website, tangischools.org, has dates for meet and greets for schools. It has the start time for schools, ending time. It has supply lists for all of our schools. And so encourage parents to take a look at that to get back to school information. Also under the general updates, just that our back to school rally was a huge success today. And I want to special thanks to Miss Dina Spears and Jill Foster for planning that. You know, they put a lot of pressure on themselves to make it perfect, all the little minor details, but even if there was any kind of mistake made or something wasn't done, nobody knew it. So it was a great event. I know y'all put a lot of time and effort in that, and there's probably others that assist y'all with some of the logistics of it. But great job on today's event, and we appreciate it. We got a lot of positive feedback from our teachers. So it was a great day, and I think it's a good, strong start to the school year. So that's what we wanted. Also for item 5B, we want to consider referring policy DIA, which is the accounting system, to the policy committee for review.
Yeah, I was saying, can we lump those? Yeah.
And then we have, I can read them, and then we have C, which is policy DFI, which is admissions and gate receipts to policy, and then D, referring policy DL, cash in school buildings, to the policy. And then also the fourth policy we'd like to refer is policy FEA-P, guidelines for procuring professional services for capital and other projects.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to to refer for items B, C, D, and E on our agenda, which would be policy DIA, DFI, DL, FEA to our policy committee.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Piazza to refer policies B, C, D, and E, and a second by Mr. Westmoreland, again, to refer these policies to the policy committee for review.
One question.
Yes, sir.
Typically, do we have rough drafts yet of what you have, or are you still working on that? Typically, when we refer it, we refer it with a sample.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'll email kind of what I have so far on those. The FEAP is being referred because forethought, there was some changes about how the procurement of the architects was done, and this was left out. So this is actually the policy on the procuring of architects, so it needs to be changed as well.
right, having a motion and a second, do we have any other questions, comments, concerns on this? All right. Ms. Amanda, can we get a roll call vote on referring those policies, please?
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez? Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
For item 5F, consider approval of substantial completion for the Punchatoula High School roof replacement. She Builds Roofing and Construction LLC. Mr. Page is here if we have any questions.
This one here, I believe, is pretty straightforward. We've done a walkthrough, well, the architect done a walkthrough. I was kind of just there to assist of this roof here. We went through the entire thing on the main campus. No outstanding items. All issues has been fixed, and we just moved to substantial completion. If you all okay with accepting that, we still do have a punch list items and any other issues that may arise within the next year. We'll also get that taken care of while we're still under warranty with the contractor.
Motion to adopt.
We have a motion to adopt by Mr. Westmoreland.
Second.
And a second by Ms. Dominguez. Any other questions or comments? I actually had a question, but I'll let you guys go first. Anybody else?
I just had a question about the money. Are we covered on the money on this, or is it being paid for out of previous job? I mean, how are we paying for this?
This is all still part of that litigation that Andre's doing. So the decision was made to go ahead and go forward and get the roof fixed, and then we'll have to figure out how we're going to get.
So right now, we're paying for it.
You know how much, as we were replacing the roof, this was going to be my question, was it pretty evident that the last job was not done correctly, to your knowledge?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to speak on that, but
All right, let me rephrase it.
it has some issues.
I'll rephrase
there
it.
All issues were documented and forwarded to our attorney.
Gotcha. How much decking was changed out, would you say? Yeah.
And we even had an allowance of around 22,000 square feet to be replaced. We exceeded that allowance.
Okay.
Do we have a final number on that? Because I know when we first got it, it was if this amount of decking, and now that we have all the decking, do we have a final? Sorry, I couldn't see it at the bottom. There we go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the final number there, yeah.
So we were close. We were close with the projection numbers.
All right. Any other questions or comments? No? No public input on this item, by any chance? All right, we can go ahead and call for a vote. Ms. Amanda?
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Ms. Dominguez? Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank y'all for getting that.
Thank you.
All right, before moving to item 6, is there any opposition to us going to item 7, doing board acknowledgement first? Or I'll tell you what, actually, let's not change the order here. Let's keep it there. But is there any public input today?
No,
All right,
sir.
We'll go to item 6, and litigation. So
I'll do that one. So I would move at this time, Mr. President, that we move into executive session for the consideration of 4 agenda items. First, to consider the litigation between the Tangi Parish School Board and the town of Roseland, and specifically a proposed cooperative endeavor agreement. Second, to consider the case of Kathleen Babin versus Tangi Parish School System. Thirdly, to consider the case of Catherine Kinchin versus Tangi Parish School System. And finally, to enter into executive session to review the applications and reports from our superintendent search firm, noting that we will not be taking any action on the superintendent search process in executive session. We will only be reviewing applications, and if we take any action related to the superintendent search, that will be done in open session after we complete that in executive session.
Okay. So we have a
And Mr.
motion.
President, let me just announce, since it's not on the agenda, that the Tangi Parish School Board Town of Roseland matter is in litigation. That's docket number 2026-2559 in Division F. That matter is in litigation.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Duncan and a second by, I think, Mr. Mingus.
Mr. Mingus.
If that's okay with you. But, I'm gonna give you a second to catch up on that. Any opposition into entering into executive session to discuss these motions? All right, hearing none, we'll move to executive session.
Channel 17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
All right, having returned from executive session, would anybody like to make a motion on any of the topics we discussed?
First off, on the matter of Kathleen Babin versus Tangipahoa Parish School System, there was no action to report. On the matter of Catherine Kinchin versus Tangipahoa Parish School System, there was no action to report. And on the matter of the Tangipahoa Parish School Board versus the town of Roseland, there was no action to report. On the agenda item related to our superintendent search process, we had the opportunity to, we closed, well, just to back up so that the public has the benefit. The first step that we took in this process was to hire a search firm to ensure that we complied with the legal requirements of the process and to help us to advertise and recruit on a national basis as many highly qualified candidates as we could. That advertisement went out and ran with a deadline for applications of July the 31st. Tonight, we have received back from the superintendent search firm a report indicating that there were 12 people who indicated interest in applying for the position. Of those 12, there were 9 candidates that submitted at least a partial application packet for our consideration. Of those 9, there were only 4 candidates that submitted a complete application for our consideration. Of the 4 candidates that submitted a complete application, there were 2 candidates that had served previously as either a superintendent or an assistant superintendent in of any size district. Those candidates are Mr. Ron Jinko, who is our assistant superintendent of the Tangipahoa Parish School System, and a Dr. Jamie Cole, who has served as a superintendent at a number of different districts and is currently a superintendent of Jefferson County Public Schools, I believe in Texas. It's my motion at this time that those 2 candidates move to the next step in this process. Again, Ron Jinko and Dr. Jamie Cole.
I'd like to second that motion.
Third.
Okay, so we have a motion to move forward 2 candidates being Ronald Jinko and Dr. Jamie Cole by Mr. Duncan. And we have a second by Ms. Abrams, and if we don't need a third, but we have one from Mr. Toller. And a fourth by Mr. Mingus. If that's the case, let me just ask this question. I think it would be best to have a roll call vote just to make it official. And so I will ask for you to do a roll call.
I do, because this was kind of a, if there's any
it's
public
discussion.
input or
Yes.
discussion, I think we
Sorry.
should invite that. Even though we did not receive a yellow sheet, this is such an important topic. If there is anyone that would want to offer public input, given that the specificity of this motion or this action, I would think that it would be appropriate to waive that rule and offer an opportunity.
And I will add, while we're waiting to see if anybody wants to speak on this, we do intend to interview these individuals. The interview for these individuals will be made public at a certain point that you can see the questions they were asked and how they were able to answer those questions. And in addition to that, we're going to be hosting a town hall style meeting on Wednesday, August 19th, where both of these candidates, if they choose, will be able to come here and answer questions from the public. And after the question and answer session, we're going to have an opportunity for the public to give us their feedback after hearing those questions and how they were answered. And then the board will make a decision most likely later that evening or the following day. So there's going to be a lot of chances for public comment, public input, and an opportunity for you specifically to ask the candidates things that you would like to hear them answer. So it's going to be a transparent process and a very fair process.
Yeah, I was going to just with more, when you were talking about the interviews, the plan is that we will record that interview and post it on our website and on Facebook so that the public will see actually be able to watch us interviewing the two final candidates before we do the town hall meeting. So.
All right. Well, does anybody want to speak on this topic this evening? Any board members want to make any further comments before we vote? All right, Ms. Amanda, we can go ahead and vote if you don't mind.
Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Mr. Westerland?
Yes.
Miss Abrams?
Yes.
Miss Dominguez?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Abstain.
Mr. Piazza?
Yes.
Mr. Toller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to item 7, which is board acknowledgement. I'm going to start at my right side this time. Ms. Abrams?
Congratulations to our 2 finalists. We look forward to hearing more about each one. But you know what I'm excited about, guys? Y'all, we didn't have any school uniform in policy this year. This is the first time in 8 years. We didn't have to talk about uniforms, Brett.
I know. I got a final wish.
Oh, man. I was thinking about that. I said, we didn't talk about uniforms this year.
We still have one more meeting in August.
Hush. But anyway.
Superintendent, we're going to go through it all over again.
All over again, yes. But congratulations to our rally that we had today. It was absolutely great. Mr. Ron Clark was hilarious in his demonstration of how he is able to get his teachers and students involved. And we're looking forward to a great year. And we hope that everyone has a strong start and a strong finish, because that is going to be my motto as my last 5 months as school board member: a strong start and a strong finish.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Toller.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to apologize for missing the back-to-school rally today. As you know, we have real jobs, and every once in a while, my schedule does not match up with my boss's schedule, so he won. So I didn't get a chance to come today, but I did miss it, and I enjoyed seeing some of the videos and things that were posted. And one other topic, well, first of all, welcome back to school, all the teachers. Glad to see the enthusiasms there. Congratulations to our candidates on the superintendent search. I appreciate the work for that's gone into this. I've been through this before. I know there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and we just want to make sure the public understands that our goal is to get the best person for this job. And I know there's other people besides these candidates that are qualified, even in our own system. So there's a lot of good people to choose from for this, and the selection's not easy. But with God leading this and the board following the direction of the public input plus the policies that we put in place, I know we will come out with the best candidate. One question on the finances, and Jeff's not here. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Could we get, I know some of the board members we've been talking about, we've been getting some questions regarding principals that are asking questions regarding paying employees for athletic events, extracurricular activities, and things like that. And there's some confusion about the pots that they're going to be paid out of, and we don't need an explanation now. But if you could put together a summary, in the future, I would love if we could get that before it really goes to the principals, because if we can get a little bit of head start and being able to explain to them, because right now some of them are just thoroughly confused on who's paying for what and how are we going to man these ball games. And you take a basketball game at Sumner where you may have 30 people there. How are you going to make enough money at the door to pay for the officials, the security, and the lights? So there's a lot of...
I'll share with you the slide presentation we did with them.
Yeah.
And just real quick, they have 3 pots. One is the school activity fund. The second is the school general fund, which is being funded by the student fees. And the third is the school allocation, which is district money. So they basically have district money to use, school general money to use, so it's up to them where they're going to tap to do that.
None of those pots are the capital outlay money.
It's a mix. The school allocation was mixed. Remember, we combined those together. So part of it's capital outlay and part of it's general
So
allocation.
in the past, we had capital outlay money that we controlled, and we gave it to the principals so the principals could control it at their level to do projects and self-help.
Right.
Are you saying that that pot could be used to pay for employees to watch a football game, or?
It's all part of their school allocation. There's general allocation and then there's capital
Yeah,
outlay.
then we need to have some more discussions on that, because I can tell you as a board, our intent is for those capital outlay dollars to go to improve the campuses and to solve their problems as far as facilities. And paying employees is not a capital improvement. That's an expense.
Right.
So we need to have some discussions on that, because that's not, I'm speaking for just 1 out of 9, but that was not our intent ever with the capital outlay money. And I think you can understand why.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to have some more conversations on that.
Well, I said that to him already, that the choices, we've been trying for years to be consistent on each campus, which causes less trouble. If all the campuses are trying to follow the same suit, but if we're giving them 3 choices, then this school's going to do it this way, that one's going to do it that way, and then it's going to just cause more
It's not
grief.
fair
It's just not
across the
really
board.
fair. Yeah, it's not consistent.
All right,
This is public comment, so, not public comment, but board comment.
That was
But that being said, since you started, you can go ahead and finish up now if you
Well,
want.
that's the board comment, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I had already mentioned that, but it is. It has been a lot of questions
This
on
is
it.
a
So
little bit confusing.
we understand y'all are trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure it out. We're trying to find $6 million. So it's just more conversations that needs to be done. But, so since it's still my turn,
Yep.
Mr. Okay.
It is.
So, great morning. Appreciate, participating in the very last one for me as a school board member. And I'm kind of sad about that, really, truly sad. I'm going to miss the whole process of just being a school board member. But man, we've made a lot of friends over the years, and I'm sure I'll keep those friends. And look forward to this, as Robin said, the next few months as a board member, and always continuing to support our school system. So thank y'all for all the hard work today. It was a good job.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna come back to Brett, if that's okay.
I'm not going, so I think I've talked enough.
All right, Brett's talked enough. Mr. Moore?
Yes, I just want to welcome back our teachers. I consider you to be the champions and the heroes of a lot of these kids who get that kind of direction and instruction from any place else. And to remember that it's all about the kids. I mean, we're here, you're there on the campuses. It's all about educating children. So remember that they are children. I know it's kind of tough sometimes. I mean, it's difficult when you have an intelligent child standing in front of you, creating issues, but they are still kids. And so I think that, someone said that honey is a better bait than vinegar. So I would just suggest that you treat every situation and every circumstance with love.
Good point. All right, Mr. Piazza.
I mean, y'all pretty much took all my thunder out of me, I guess. Today's rally was amazing. I want to thank the executive team for all of their hard work in that event. It's crazy when I go there, I think of the first time we held that event, I was in the stands. And I remember the energy I had then, and then I get to watch it from a whole different level now. And it's just amazing to see how that event has grown and has just gotten better every single year. And that's because of the wonderful team we had behind the scenes that put that on. So thank y'all from cultivating the speaker, which was amazing, to just the attitude when you walk in the door. So thank y'all so much for that. Congratulations to our newly appointed graduates of the Reach University. We have some new educators in the room. So I'm very happy that they have made it this far, and I wish them the best of luck in their career. I want to echo what Mr. Toller said about the superintendent search. As a school board member, it is our probably most important duty that we have as a board member is picking the superintendent. And this board does not take that lightly, and we have some amazing candidates that have put in their thing with some amazing credentials. And for us as a board, it was a very tough decision to move forward. but we had some standards that we had set as a board to make sure that our next person that's leading the ship has the qualifications to do so. And I can't be more happy that we picked the people that we picked. So good luck to those guys. And I'm very proud to be on this board with you fellas and my ladies here. I'm going to miss many of you when y'all leave this board. School starts back on the 10th for the kids. Please slow down. Make sure you follow the traffic signs, because I know all summer long we've enjoyed kind of speeding through those sections. Buses will be on the road. Make sure you're paying attention, guys. Make sure we have a safe start to school. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Westmoreland.
Well, I think they've pretty much covered everything. It definitely was a great morning this morning. We're starting strong. Everybody getting ready to believe it's 26-27 school year. Just rolling on. And congratulations to the two finalists on superintendent. I'm looking forward to finishing that process soon. So, thank you.
Likewise. Yeah, congratulations to the finalists. Looking forward to the interview process. This will be most of our first time, right?
Yep.
Mr. Moore, Mr. Piazza, myself. Mr. Toller's participated before, and it'll be Robin's first time as well. Mr. Westmoreland, your first time too? Gotcha. Okay, cool. So it's going to be a fun process, and I want to make it clear, like, we really, the public asked us, they came in here and did public comment on it. They asked us to do the best search that we could, and we hired a search firm that went over the entire United States, and we had a lot of applicants come in. And so we did our due diligence, and I feel like we should all be proud of that. And I think that, you know, the best candidates are the ones that we selected this evening. So anyway, I'm happy that we did our due diligence, and the public can rest assured that we're trying to get the best individual for this job. Also, I do want to point out, I have not specifically said it behind this podium yet, but I do intend to seek re-election. I've been kind of laying low because I don't want any opposition. You know, maybe I could just walk right back in, because the race I had last time was, that's why I have gray hair and a lot less hair than I had 4 years ago. Between that and the parents calling me so frequently. But I can do this job. I want the job, and I'm excited about 4 more years. And I'm excited that we can build on what we've accomplished so far. The only thing I'm not excited about is not having the same 9 people. Because this is we've gone to conferences, and our team, who by the way is the A team, like Ms. Tilley said, has looked at our board, and on our A team says, we got a really good board. And other districts look at our board and they say, man, y'all get along good. Y'all must be a really good, solid board. We are. It's gonna change a little bit, and we're going to miss the 3 that are rolling off. But the good news is, it looks like we have at least three really strong candidates. I guess I can say, I can. I know, because I talked to one of our candidates yesterday, and our former board secretary, who put in 20 plus years, is actually running for Rose's seat. So you talk about not missing a beat. She's going to know all the rules. She's going to know all the laws. So. And right now, it appears that she may not have opposition. So Rose is irreplaceable, but this lady is probably as good as Rose. So it's just, I want to serve with her. I really want 4 years after I heard that she was coming. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you all to death, but do want to thank everybody again. Today's rally was outstanding, probably the best I've been to. I want to thank the A team. I'm going to start calling y'all that. And that's all I have. So I think that we have found that we do not have any public input. Is that still the case? All right, with no public input, meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all.